Broken strings. They say music saves souls. But that night, it was the sound of silence that broke mine. My name is Ethan Cole, and for years I lived on a stage too small for my dreams. I played in smoky bars, sang my heart out to half-empty rooms, and scraped together enough money to pay rent and put cheap food on the table. Through it all, I had one anchor, my wife, Rachel. She said she believed in me. She said my music mattered. She said we'd make it together. But love, I learned, is only real until it's tested. I came home early one night, guitar case still in hand, when I heard voices behind the bedroom door. At first, I thought maybe Rachel was on the phone, laughing too loudly. But when I pushed the door open, my world collapsed. Rachel wasn't alone. She was with Mark, the wealthy owner of the club where I performed. The man who paid me in crumpled bills was holding my wife in his arms. I stood frozen, the sound of my guitar case slipping from my hand echoing through the room. Rachel gasped, her face pale. Ethan, But there are no words that can undo betrayal. I didn't scream. I didn't throw punches. I simply turned and walked out, the weight of 5 years of love crushing my chest. That night, I sat on the fire escape outside our apartment with my guitar, staring at the city lights. My fingers shook as they touched the strings, but the notes that came out weren't weak. They were raw, sharp, alive. And as the sound filled the night, a thought hit me with brutal clarity. If Rachel could betray me so easily, maybe she never believed in me. Maybe no one did. But I would prove them wrong. That night, betrayal became fuel. Pain became music. And for the first time in my life, I wasn't just singing for her, I was singing for me. Success doesn't come overnight, but when it does arrive, it feels like a storm. My demo album spread faster than I imagined. At first, it was just local radio stations giving me a shot. Then came small interviews, bigger venues, and streaming numbers climbing like wildfire. People said my music carried a kind of truth they hadn't heard in years. The truth was pain. And people recognized it because everyone had been broken at some point. Jack pushed me harder than I thought I could go, but I never stopped. Music became more than survival, it became purpose. And with each song, each stage, I felt lighter, freer. The night it all truly hit me was when I walked onto the stage of a packed theater, my name shining in neon above the doors. Ethan Cole, live! For the first time, the room wasn't half empty. It was overflowing. People screamed my name, sang my lyrics back to me. I gripped the microphone, staring at the sea of faces, and thought, Rachel, are you watching this? Do you see what your betrayal created? When I sang the song I wrote the night I left her, the crowd went silent. Every word cut through the air like glass. And when the final note fell, the applause shook the building. In that moment, I knew I had finally made it. A week later, after a show, I was leaving through the back entrance when I saw her. Rachel. She looked different, older, worn out, her eyes carrying the weight of choices she couldn't undo. She stepped forward, her voice trembling. Ethan. Hearing my name from her lips again felt like reopening an old wound. But this time, I wasn't bleeding. I've been listening to your songs, she said softly. They're beautiful. You're everything I always knew you could be. I let out a bitter laugh. Funny. You didn't think that when you were in Mark's arms. Her face crumpled. Mark, he wasn't what I thought. He left. He took everything. I made a mistake, Ethan. The worst mistake of my life. But maybe we can start over? Her words might have destroyed me once. But not anymore. I stepped closer, looking her dead in the eye. You didn't just break my heart, Rachel. You taught me never to hand it to the wrong person again. You don't get a second chance at that. Not with me. Tears welled in her eyes, but I felt nothing. No anger, no longing, only peace. Goodbye, Rachel, I said, my voice steady. Enjoy the life you chose. And I walked away, the roar of the crowd from inside the theater still echoing behind me. That night, as I sat alone with my guitar, I strummed a new melody. Not one born of pain, but of freedom. Rachel's betrayal had broken me, yes. But from broken strings, I built a new song, one that belonged only to me. And it was the most beautiful sound I had ever heard.